Welcome, everyone, to my first episode of Becoming Whole, Healing with Francie. I'm so excited that you're here, whether you're watching live or on the rewatch. You're more than welcome to participate and hopefully gain some healing yourself, some insight, some peace. And what does it mean to become whole? It's about embracing our divine selves as well as our human selves. It's about healing those wounds that we have so that we can become whole again. One of my favorite quotes is from Jane Fonda, who says, "We're not meant to be perfect, we're meant to be whole." And that is my goal for this show and for all the participants. Again, whether you're getting a reading or whether you're watching, is that you gain some insight and you have some direction as to how to become whole again. And I'm going to be sending out healing energy to everyone that participates. And so hopefully you'll be able to receive that and feel that as well throughout the evening. So thank you again for joining me. And I'm excited to welcome my first participant, Stephanie. If you wanted to unmute yourself, that would be great.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So Stephanie, I do a mixture of things: healing, spirit connection, guidance. So how can I help you this evening?
Well, okay, I've been on this healing journey, both physically and spiritually, and I've been trying to release traumas. One of them being a trauma event while in the womb, which I believe is linked to the recent the discord between my mom and I in recent years.
Yeah.
As well as maybe, I think all of it is including the discord between my mom and I. I believe it's a big, I've come to the conclusion, it's a big, it's playing a huge role, a significant role in the block that I have with career, with my art, just trying to figure out, just where to go. Also, I've been wanting to write a book and for years now, and to share my story, and just all this fear coming from all these different directions, and yeah. So.
And I recognize your voice. You joined us in the Sedona retreat, didn't you, Stephanie?
Yes, it's me.
Hi. How are you? It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to see you.
Well, I'm happy to help you in any way that I can, and I'm sorry to hear about your blocks. As I'm tuning into your energy, and I'm going to do a little bit more of a link, but as I'm picking up on your energy now, I can feel there's something going on with the solar plexus chakra, which is your power center. That feels a little bit off to me. So let me link in with your energy first. So do me a favor, take a nice deep breath. The light within me meets the light within you. The light within you, Stephanie, meets the light within me. Calling on Stephanie's guides and angels for healing and guidance. I'm also going to turn my Reiki hands on and send you Reiki, if I may, with your permission, as I'm also tuning in with your energy. Okay, thank you. And so, Stephanie, what I'm feeling is there is some issue with the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is in the stomach and the lower back area. That's where we store the emotions of power, feeling comfortable and confident in one's own skin. And think about that umbilical cord, right? So that is where we connect to our mothers, but that's also kind of symbolically and spiritually where we connect to our higher divine self and like the true power of source, of God, of angels as well. And so let me tap into that for you and see if there's something I can do to remove some of that. And you mentioned a block that might have started in the womb. That resonates with me. There's something there. I think you're onto something. So let me see if I can go in and cut some cords with that, if I may. So just take a nice deep breath as I send some Reiki towards you, linking in with that solar plexus energy and any and all cords of attachments that no longer serve you, including and especially those issues and difficulties at birth with your mother. I'm also going to call on Archangel Michael to help with this. So you might feel some tingling or heat as this comes through. Take some nice deep breaths. I link in with your energy. I'm going to start cutting some cords. And for those of you that are watching, this is a very safe and gentle and very common technique that we do in energy healing, which is cutting cords of attachments that no longer serve us. We would never cut cords of love, nor will we ever want to, but the cords of past traumas and events where we no longer need that baggage, we're allowed to cut. And the beautiful thing about Reiki is it uses your own divine guidance and your own divine permission to heal what needs to heal. If there's still some learning in the pain or the trauma, then the Reiki won't help it. But it helps to bring clarity and to clear away the things you are ready to let go of. Ooh, I can feel a lot of energy movement. Hopefully you can feel some of that too, Stephanie. How are you doing so far?
Good. It's good.
Take some nice deep breaths.
Okay.
You might even put your hands on your stomach area and kind of breathe in as we're sending energy to that space.
Mm.
The other thing I'm seeing kind of from an intuitive perspective, and this is helpful for a lot of people with relationship issues. So if you're like Stephanie, you're watching, you've got issues with a parent, a sibling, a family member, or anyone really that you struggle with those relationships, one of the best things you can do on your own is to write letters to those people with pen and paper, not your computer or your phone, and just pour your heart out. You know, all the good, bad, ugly, and different things that you wish the relationship could have been, you wish they would have done instead of what they did do instead. You can put nasty stuff in there, things about you feeling angry towards somebody in that letter, and then burn that letter as a way of releasing it. The beautiful thing about that is it doesn't send negative energy to the person you're writing to. All it does is exercise it out of your being. So you're not holding on to any of that any longer. And so you might also write a letter to your mom with all the issues you've had over the years, including the moment of birth, and seeing how that, once you burn that, see how you feel and if the relationship changes or not. Now, I also want to tackle your creative block. That's in the sacral and then the throat chakra. The sacral chakra is in your pelvic area. It has to deal with our sexuality, but it also is where we give birth to things, both physically as well as metaphorically. That's kind of the seed of creation in the sacral chakra. And so let me tap into that now and see if I can sense anything there for you as well, so we can get that book out into the world.
Yes.
I'm going to cut some cords here too, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what I'm doing, it's just this kind of my intention. This action here is not really doing anything, but it's my intention behind it. That's the power. And so I'm cutting any all cords that are holding you back in the sacral. And then I'm going to seal those severed cords with emotional healing, and then also sealing it so that it doesn't reattach. Take some nice deep breaths. And what I'm hearing from your guides and angels, Stephanie, is that it's really about putting one word in front of the other, one step in front of the other. Break it into smaller chunks. If you look at the whole, you might get overwhelmed, but if you take it one day at a time, one paragraph at a time, one word at a time, it will start to flow. They're telling me that you're kind of in your own way a little bit, like you want it just to get it done. But maybe the process of creating and the process of writing, you're finding some challenge in that. And so, hang on, they're speaking. Hang on one second. Yeah, they're really showing me how some dedicated time, opening up whatever, word processing thing you've got to start typing and putting one word in front of the other. Blocking off your calendar and making sure nothing else happens in that time frame. But writing, they're like, turn off your phone and the distractions. And then also we want to work on your throat chakra. So the sacral is where we kind of first birth the idea, but then expressing it comes in the throat chakra. And so let me also work on sending you some healing to that as well. And the color for this is light blue. The color for the solar plexus is yellow, and the color for the sacral is orange. And so also if you're feeling low in any of those gas tanks, you can surround yourself with those colors to help boost the chakras as well. So let me send some energy to your throat chakra to help. Yeah, there's some stuff here. I can sense it. So let me. I'm just breaking up blocks of energy here. And freeing you from that. So what they're saying is something else you can do creatively to help you get unstuck is try something else, another creative project, or just having fun coloring or dancing or singing or just putting some color on a page, just to kind of open those juices up again as like an appetizer mm-hmm. to the actual project that you're looking for. So kind of, if your big project is a little too intimidating, try with some other creative outlets just to kind of get those juices going. And then you'll find it easier to kind of transition into the book that you're trying to get out. Mm. One last thing. Ganesh has showed up for you. And Ganesh is a patron of writers as well as remover of obstacles. So you can call on Ganesh to help you with your projects and help you to kind of get out of your own way. Hmm. Okay, great. Any questions for me?
No. This is helpful. It feels in sync with what's showing up for myself right now. Yeah.
Oh, great. Good. I'm so glad. So I'll continue to send you energy. And if you want to stay as part of the program the rest of the night, you're going to continue to get some Reiki energy. So I would encourage you to do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. And I send you my love and blessings, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Francie.
You're welcome. Good to hear from you again, hon.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. I'm ready for my next person. Clear my energy. Getting ready for the next. So while we're waiting, a couple of things to kind of share from that experience. A little bit about my background, if you're just joining us for the first time. I'm a Reiki master, psychic medium, angelic channel. I've been doing this work for about 15 years. I work with people and pets to help really them become whole again. My journey started as a healing practitioner 15 years ago after my mom passed from cancer. I was devastated by her loss. And I realized that there was something lacking in our traditional Western medicine field, and that is treating the whole person. The doctors in the medical field treated my mom's cancer, but not necessarily her as a person. So her emotional state, her spiritual state, her mental state went unhealed while she was going through her journey of cancer. And so that started me questing and looking into different opportunities to help become more whole again. And so that's when Reiki kind of fell into my lap, and I started working with people on a regular basis, healing on a bunch of different scales. And I'll share with you a little bit more about that towards the end of the evening. I want to welcome my next participant, Will. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
Hi, I had trouble tracking down the links. I've not done an Eventbrite thing before, so.
Well, you're here, so yeah, that's I'm all here that now. Matters.
So I missed the whole thing, but hello, everyone.
Hello.
Congratulations on your show.
Oh, thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. And like Stephanie, I've worked with Will before in the past as well. So thank you for participating tonight. How can I help you? Would you like to do mediumship reading, healing? Would you like some guidance?
I think mediumship reading, that's always, my thing. And between that, we kind of do Reiki as well. But, for tonight, I think I just needed some contact with whomever wants to speak with me, I guess.
Yeah. Did you want to, I know we worked before connecting with your wife on the other side. Did you want to do that again, or was there somebody else you were looking to connect with?
Yeah, I would like to hear from her. But I think in the past I've only said that I've only wanted to hear from her, and everybody else stay away. So, but I'm open if somebody else wants to, enter into this space. But primarily, I would like to connect with her.
And it's 𝐸HI, right?
Yeah.
Can you spell it for me again, hon?
It's NAEHI.
NAEHI. Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are joining for the first time and haven't worked with me on mediumship reading, the way that I work is I tune in by the person's name, and I ask for them specifically to come through for my participant. And so spelling the name and saying it out loud helps me to kind of pull them in. It's like a calling card. And I'm going to share with Will what I'm sensing, hearing, and feeling as I'm getting it. So let's take a nice deep breath, Will, and I'm going to link in with your energy. The light within me meets the light within you. The light within you meets the light within me. Calling on 𝐸HI to step forward for Will. And if 𝐸HI, you want to bring others in with you to chat with Will, you're more than welcome to do so. All right, just give me a second as I tune into the energies in the room, the energy changing. And I can see her face, and again, I've worked with Will and 𝐸HI before, so I've got the visual of her. I know what she looks like already. I know her personality already. So I'm going to skip some of those things because Will's, I've been fortunate enough to link with this spirit before. But let me give you something, what I'm feeling now, Will. I am feeling some things in the throat chakra. I'm feeling some stuff here, some scratchiness. I can't remember if that was something that happened with her towards the end. I remember she had cancer, right? So I'm starting to remember some of the things of how she passed already. But let me see if I can get some more insight into overwhelming feeling of love. My heart is very full. I'm feeling a lot of gratitude and a lot of love for you, Will, from the other side. She wants to know if you noticed the lights flickering in the dining room yet, because she's told you about those before. She's like, have you seen the lights flickering?
It's that one lamp that's in the dining. Well, we have two lamps. The one used to flicker, but it doesn't flicker anymore because I changed the bulb after it went out. But there's this one lamp that still continues to flicker every now and then. And that lamp, she moved into the dining room because she got a new lamp in her study. So that's kind of like her lamp, I guess.
Yeah. Well, she's making me feel like she is still letting you know she's around by tweaking the light in the dining room. And she also wants you to know that she's around a lot more often than you can feel her.
Okay.
I'm trying to get specifics here. Give me a second. Now remember pizza. So I always say this with my clients, especially in a kind of public forum like this. If I go into any area you're not comfortable with, if I go into any topic, just blurt out pizza, that's your safe word, and I'll stop, no questions asked, okay? She's happy that you're getting out more, and she's happy that you're getting more social, and there's walking. I'm seeing walking, and she's happy that you're getting outside more. You're kind of breaking out of the cocoon a little bit.
Depends on the moment, yeah.
Let's see. She wants you to kind of, when you're walking in nature outside, just like you guys would walk together, she's grabbing your right hand. And so when you're outside walking on the path you guys would walk together, see if you notice a sensation in specifically your right hand, because she's making me feel like she can lightly brush it, and you might be sensitive enough to feel it right in your palm. So that's another way of she's letting you know that she's around. And she wants to encourage you to get out more. You need to move your body. You need to exercise. You need to breathe fresh air. She's kind of getting on you a little bit, Will. A little too stationary.
Okay.
Give me a sec. And then I'll see what questions you might have for her. I'm also seeing if she's brought some others with her on the other side. She wants to kind of remind you, I think we've said this before in previous readings, but she wants to remind you how healed she is, how at peace she is, how she's no longer suffering in any way. So for those of you that are watching, Will, if you're okay with me sharing this, your wife had cancer and she suffered, not suffered, but it was a hard go of it towards the end. But she wants to make you know that, again, to reassure you, the issues that led up to her cancer, which I think you and I are familiar with, her cancer itself, those are all things that she's healed on the other side. Those are not things that are causing her any issues. She's very much at peace. And she hopes that brings you peace because she knows you're not at peace with some of that stuff still. And so she wants you to know that she's been able to let it go. And she really hopes you're going to be able to let that go too. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because she's saying it's not healthy for you to hold on to some of that, the grudges or the resentments or the hurt feelings, again, leading up to the cancer. So whatever you can do to let that go, she's encouraging you to do that. She's saying because it's weighing on your heart. It's weighing on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So you might try, I think we've talked about this before, but you might try letter writing to anybody that you have, challenging or negative feelings towards, and then burning those letters. Not to 𝐂𝐿, of course. I know you don't have that, but maybe, we talked about this, some of the things that, again, led up to her cancer and the people involved with that. And she's still wanting to go on those trips with you. So I think you guys had planned Paris, she's saying, like a trip together when you retired. And I keep seeing the Eiffel Tower, so it feels like Paris to me. Can't remember if we said this before or not, if this is new information, but she's making me feel like it is still possible. She's still going to go on the trip with you. You won't be alone. Please do it.
Well, we wanted to go to the UK together, and then not really France because my sister annoys us. She's a Francophile. She has her PhD in French literature.
Oh, so you've overdone it with the French stuff.
So, but then we thought, well, since we're there, we can just take the Trenel and just go to Paris since we're there, and just to kind of check it off the bucket list, as it were.
Yeah. She's making me feel like it's because it's the city of love and there's a lot of romance there. She wants you to continue to go there and know that she's going to go there with you. You won't be going there alone. You guys still will have that trip planned. It's just going to be different. You're not going to be able to feel her holding your hand, but trust me, she's going to be there with you, enjoying the sights. And you can talk to her. You can bring her along. Eat good food, she's saying. Just like you guys had planned. She is showing me that she's brought some other loved ones on the other side too. So let me see if I can distinguish who they are for you. There's a whole slew of people she's met from your side of the family that she's meeting for the first time in spirit. And she's really getting along with them great. So let me see if I can figure out who these folks are. There's a very tall gentleman. He's older. He's got gray hair. He's thin. He feels very traditional as far as like the masculine roles in the family. He's very quiet. He's very stoic. He's very smart. He's very proper. He doesn't feel like your dad, but like a generation above. So like a grandfather or an uncle on your side of the family. I can't tell. There's like a little mustache. It's fading in and out. I want to say he's got a mustache, but I'm not 100% certain. But he's coming across as an intellectual, and he's tied to your side of the family, and she's meeting him on the other side, and she really likes him.
I don't know if that's my paternal grandfather. I never met him.
Never met him, yeah. And sometimes that happens a lot in the spirit world. You know, folks that we've never met in life will show up during a reading. Just because you haven't met them doesn't mean they don't know you, or doesn't mean that they haven't been a part of your life. And so let me ask if this is your paternal grandfather, and also why he might be showing up for you tonight. So Nahi is helping a broker because he's not super talkative, but she's making me feel like this is your paternal grandfather. But again, you might be able to, look at some history and see if that description fits him or not. But the reason he's coming through is she's seeing a direct kind of influence, maybe genetically, that you have with him. You guys share your intelligence. You share your analytical mind. Like, she's seeing where you get a lot of your traits, and it's from this grandfather figure of yours on the other side. So even though you might not have known him or met him, she has, and she's kind of letting you know he's kind of a lot like you in certain ways.
Interesting.
Book smart, she's saying, book smart. He feels like he was like self-taught in a lot of different subject matters. Do you have any questions for either of them, Will, or for me?
Well, you were talking about retirement. That's the trajectory that we had together.
Yeah.
And I could probably do it any time now, but job offers are coming in because people have gotten the sense that I'm ready to retire, and now they want me on board with their organization, and it's confusing.
Sure.
So I guess want to ask maybe, hey, why is it coming now?
Yeah.
And what do I do with it?
She's honestly making me feel like this trip you guys had planned needs to happen sooner versus later. Like, I want to say this year, if not next spring. And she's making me feel like that needs to be it's like a reset button for you to figure out what you want for the next chapter of your life. She's saying don't commit to anything right now except your retirement and that vacation, and nothing else after that. Because there might be something about that trip you take that might open up some doors, or you might get some insight into and clarity into what you want for the next chapter of your life. And she doesn't want that to be already written for you before you go. Does that make sense?
Okay. I think so.
So the time, if you don't mind timing, she's giving you some advice on the timing of everything. Finish out this year, she's saying. Spring, it's lovely in Paris in spring, would be your Europe trip. And then if you want to consider other opportunities, you would do that when you come back, but not before. She's like, finish off the year, retire, spring, go on the trip. She's making me feel like there's more doors and different doors that will open up for you once you come back, because there's healing that needs to take place in that trip you're going to take. There's time for yourself, time to reflect, time to understand this new relationship that you have with 𝐿 now on the other side. And that's going to be a critical piece of the puzzle that you can't, what am I trying to say? You can't have your future already written before that piece is in place. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
But I don't have a question for who this person that she introduced to. I guess my next question for her, if I'm permitted to ask her, that is, I guess maybe for confirmation, has she been showing me her birthday in random situations?
Okay. She's been giving you some signs, you think?
Yeah.
She's laughing. She's like, I've been giving you a lot of different signs.
Because restaurant bills have been totaling up to her birth year, or after I add a tip, it comes out that way. And
how fun is that? That's great. That's great. She's showing me what I'm seeing. I'm not getting yes or no just yet, but what I'm seeing is like a red digital clock, and like a red clock that has numbers on it. And so there's something she's doing with the numbers on a red digital clock in your home that she's referencing. But let me ask her specifically about the birth dates. She's saying, I'm hearing, she's like, some of those are coincidences and some of those I am doing. So maybe it's a mix of both. She's also been sprinkling, can't tell if they're white or blue feathers, maybe a combination of the two, but she's leaving you feathers too in your path. And she's saying there's one like near your home, kind of by the patio, indoor, outdoor. So keep an eye out for feathers if they haven't shown up yet. White and or blue. She's also trying to give you those signs as well. I hope you can feel her presence. I hope you can feel the love she has for you. And she's so very present and very much a part of your life still. Again, it's just learning how to have a new relationship with our loved ones on the other side. It's not physical, but it's still very tangible and still very present. So I hope you know how much she loves you. And again, her message is she's at peace, she's healed, she's been able to let it go, and she wants that for you as well. Okay? I hope that helps, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a minute. Drink some water. And thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And know that I'm always here whenever you need me, okay?
Thank you.
All right, hon. Take care. Thanks for coming. All right. So as I get ready for my next person, I just want to say a couple things about mediumship. I came to mediumship through healing work, and I approach it from the perspective of healing. When I started doing Reiki, I, over the years, would start to sense and feel the spirits around the Reiki table. And I'm not a born medium. I wasn't born seeing spirits. So that was a really weird, odd thing for me to witness. And so I started asking about it, and I started training on it. And what I realized is my clients needed to heal from a grieving heart. And as I do my Reiki sessions, I always open up with the intention of help me to be the channel to help them heal whatever they need to heal. And it turns out they needed to heal that grieving heart. And that's why spirit started showing up to me during a Reiki session, because their grief was holding them back and keeping them locked in their life, not being able to move forward. And so I then started to train more diligently on becoming a medium. So I trained at the Arthur Findlay College in the UK. I studied with Tony Stockwell, Leanne Thomas, Gordon Smith, a number of well-renowned psychic mediums. And again, my perspective is not just to prove life continues on the other side, but really to help us in the living with our grieving hearts, helping to lift that and helping us to heal. So thank you, Will, for demonstrating that for us tonight. I would love to have my next participant. Is that Erica? If you wanted to unmute, and camera is optional, Erica.
Hi.
Hello. Lovely to meet you. How are you?
Lovely to meet you as well. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm loving all of the blue, by the way. I saw your nails come up and I saw the blue nails and the blue hair. Yes.
Thank you. It's fun.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course. Thank you for participating. How may I help you this evening, my dear?
Oh my goodness. Great question. I was kind of just looking for guidance in general.
Sure. Okay. Is there career, relationship, health? You can steer me in any of those directions.
I was thinking more just so overall life in general. I feel like, I feel like everything's going really well, career-wise, things are going well. Relationship, like friendships, relationships, and that with myself are going pretty well as well. But sometimes I feel like I progress and then I kind of take steps back and it almost feels like I'm regressing, and it almost feels like I'm in that same space of where am I supposed to go?
Right. So almost like you're kind of stagnant or not moving forward in the way that you want to move forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm already sensing a couple things with you, my dear, but I think I'm going to pull some cards also just to kind of add some intuitive tools to the mix here. So let me take a nice deep breath. Let's take a nice deep breath together. Let me link it with your energy. So the light within me meets the light within you. The light within you, Erica, meets the light within me. Calling on Erica's guides and angels to step forward with clear messages and guidance. Okay, good. Ooh, you've got a lovely orange aura. So a lot of creative energy, like we mentioned before with Stephanie. So that's great. So you're to help get your juices going again and to help get you unstuck, do something creative. And it doesn't need to be Michelangelo. It doesn't have to be something that's forced. It can be something as simple as an adult coloring book, pencils, crayons. It can be something like putting on some music and dancing wildly and crazily. A musical instrument, writing a poem, like anything that you love to do creatively as a kid, bust that out and do that as an adult. And that kind of helps to get the juices going again. Whenever we get stuck, I feel like doing something creative, it brings your soul self to the foreground and enables you to tap into something higher than yourself. And again, it can be silly, it doesn't have to be perfect. Finger painting, if you want to do that. And that can help kind of get you into a space of freedom, tapping into that childhood energy, which is what we need to kind of propel ourselves going forward at times. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
So I'm going to use one of my favorite card decks by Leanne Thomas. It's the Angelic Hope deck. And I'm going to just pull some cards. We're just going to see what happens. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, super. And Erica, and just with anyone that I've been working with, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Just because I'm saying it doesn't make it true. So I'm going to pull 3 cards because only you know what truth feels like. Don't take my word for it. Feel it. If it resonates, grab it. If not, put it to the side. Okay, angels and guides. Erica wants to know, she wants to get some guidance on her life and to help her get maybe a little unstuck. Is that the right question?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Oh, this card wants to come out. I'm waiting for just cards as I'm shuffling. I'm just waiting for cards to kind of fall out of the deck here. That's not the right card. I'm going to put it back in there. It's the wrong one. Shuffle again. All right, one more card for this one. Okay. Let's see what we got. Aha. So this card shows folks healing from a grieving heart. If this resonates with you, one of the things that might be holding you back is grief. Something you need to let go of, whether it's a person or a dream you might have had. And so a lot of times a grieving heart can lower our vibration and make it really hard to access those higher frequencies. And so if it's a person that you're grieving over, maybe doing a mediumship reading or writing them a letter or talking to them or asking them for signs or, reminiscing with their pictures or favorite song, kind of bring them closer and start having a new, different kind of relationship with them. Just like I shared with Will, just because they're not physically here doesn't mean they're not in our lives anymore. And so what does a new relationship look like with that person? If it's a dream you have that you need to say goodbye to, something you wanted to do as a kid, be an astronaut, a firewoman, et cetera, and you realize at this point in your life that's not going to happen, that there's some grief around that too. And so be honest with yourself and maybe journal some of the things that you wish could have happened and didn't, or, people that you've missed on the other side, you're grieving their separation, their loss, and write to them, talk to them, and that can help them bring them closer to you, but also help to alleviate some of that grieving heart. And if all else fails, watch a sad, sappy movie and just have a good, ugly cry. There's nothing better than releasing the grief than having a good, ugly cry. Just make sure you've got lots of tissues and lots of ice cream to help you get through it when you're done with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Okay. The next one is get organized, make a list. Bite-sized goals. Don't overwhelm yourself, but get a little bit more organized, they're saying. So type some things out. What is it that you wish to accomplish? Give yourself some deadlines. Give yourself some, again, small baby steps to get there. Oh, and they're saying to help you be more accountable to yourself, tell other people what your goals are, so that they can check in with you. Be like, Erica, how's that thing coming? Have you been able to do that or not? So kind of get your goals in order, get your deadlines, and then talk to your friends about, hey, I need you guys to help me. You need to push me along with this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I always thought, I was kind of taught, like, if you're doing something, don't tell other people because they'll ruin it.
No.
Or like their energy will ruin it.
Well, your trusted, loving, supportive friends and family, those are the people I would reach out to help push you along a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes we need that. I'm a writer as well. And sometimes, I need to be in a writer's group just to sit down and write, like dedicated time to sit with other writers where we just do nothing. We don't talk, we don't share, we just sit there and write. And so something like that, where, you've got somebody with similar interests or something that can give you that space and time to like kind of help you focus is helpful. Not always, but you got to find the right people to do that with.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I already do that with, with like career wise, I kind of already do that. I have friends who are in different other fields, and we'll get together and we'll go to a cafe and just have co-working sessions.
Great.
But I didn't think about doing it with like my personal goals.
Yeah, you should.
That's great. Absolutely. I will definitely, I'll start doing that and see what results I get.
Great. And then the last card, it's a beautiful card, and it shows that you've got a heart of service. You're there to be of service to others. And so as far as like, what are you here to do? What's your life purpose? Whatever, a lot of our lives' purpose is to here to be of service to ourselves, but also to each other. And so what I'm feeling with this card is in your downtime, to help you ignite a fire within you, find something that you're passionate about, a cause, a certain group of people that are being underserved. And what can you do? What are your skill sets? What are your strengths that you can bring to that situation that might help them in their situation? Your experience, your knowledge, your expertise. And so you've got such a beautiful heart and you've got so much to give. They're saying is energy and the time because you're overworked and you're others, you light up. And that's a part of you that is maybe a little underserved right now yourself, is finding that bigger purpose. And a lot of times we find bigger purpose in being of service to others. So looking at your local,
Oh.
here we go.
Oh, there you are.
Here I
Hi.
am. Sorry about that. So I'm not sure where I cut out, but forgive my internet. But I was just mentioning of being of service and how that's a fire in your heart I can feel, and it would give you a, more of a sense of divine purpose. You've got so much to give, so much of your expertise to share. Maybe even helping people through something you've gone through in your life, helping them through getting through something similar. There's a lot that you can bring to the table to be of service to others. So if you've got time and energy and space, the guides are saying that would be something for you to look into if you haven't already.
Okay.
That's also a good motivator too, right? When you see others that are struggling, when you jump in to try to help them and being of service, it kind of opens up your own creative juices and your own energy levels to work on your own projects as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that I feel like this is the perfect amount of guidance that I needed.
Yay, good. I'm so glad. I hope it was helpful. And again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but also your angels are always there to give you guidance. And so whenever you're in doubt, just quiet yourself and ask angels, can you help guide me in this situation? Should I go right? Should I go left? Should I do this or should I not? And you're always going to get an answer, just as long as it comes from the heart and not the head. Such
And
a pleasure.
That's a whole other journey too.
I know, it's easier said than done, right?
Yes, it is. Well, thank you so much for your
so
time and your energy. I so appreciate this, and I can't wait to go do something with it.
Yay, good. I'm so glad. It's a pleasure to meet and work with you tonight. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. And I think last but certainly not least, my friend, my colleague, Miss Joy Riddle.
Hello, my dear. How are you tonight? You
Oh,
look gorgeous. Your blue is so agreeable with you.
Thank you
and
so
of course,
much.
it's my favorite color, so of course it agrees with me.
Mine too. Well, the joy of going gray is you can then color your hair whatever color you want. And so
you
I had
lovely in the gray. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I've always had dark hair growing up, but now that I've got white, I can make it any fun color I want.
Absolutely.
So how can I help you, my dear?
Well, I have, let's see, I'm 7 months into my dream interpretation mentorship.
Oh, great.
I've done my channeling, and tomorrow I start cutting the ties that bind. So that I can get my masculine and feminine energies in balance, and there'll be a past life regression that will kind of let me know what to start off with.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
The question I have is, I've asked already that it be gentle and help me with my spiritual gifts, but what to expect? What can I do to make it achieve what it needs to achieve and do the clearing that needs to be done?
That's beautiful. And congrats on that journey. I know you've been on that path for a while now. So congrats on sticking with it. And, the journey of the self and the soul is the whole reason we're here. And so thank you for doing the work. I'm already picking up on some things for you to do. But before I do that, let me clear and then connect with you. And then I'll ask your guides and angels to step forward. So take a nice deep breath, Joy. The light within me meets the light within you. The light within you, Joy, meets the light within me. Calling on Joy's guides and angels to step forward with clear messages and guidance. So a little background about Joy and I. We met in 2009 we took our Reiki masterclass together.
Yes.
And so, Joy, I'm seeing you put all of the Reiki symbols in crystalline water and drinking a bunch of that between now and when you get the cords cut. So, like, I don't know if you've got one of those water bottles that you can put crystals in.
No, but I'll try.
Well, there sometimes they have like a middle container that you can put crystals in, the water's around it. But just put crystals around the outside of the water. Draw all of your Reiki symbols on the water bottle to kind of infuse the water with that, and that will help you with the release tomorrow.
Okay.
They also recommend fasting if that's healthy for you. Again,
I've been doing it. I'm OMAD right now.
Okay, great. So again, I don't recommend fasting for everybody because for dietary, health reasons. But if that's something that agrees with you, you might.
It does, yeah.
Okay, good. Saging your space, because once you cut the cords, they're saying that there's going to be maybe some lingering energy of that stuff in the house. And so opening the windows, Palo Santo, sage, before, during, after that release will be helpful. Mm-hmm. And they also want you to take a very keen eye on all of your objects in your home. If it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. Donate it. Box it up.
That's already been on my number one list.
Because there's
energy there.
That's right. So for those of you that are watching who aren't familiar with this concept, our stuff contains energy. And even if it's not a lot of energy, our memories associated with, people that bought us certain things, or a trip we took where we got sick the whole time. So sometimes we clutter ourselves and our living space with objects that aren't healthy, high frequency energy. And so they want you to take that keen eye of discernment and look and feel almost every object. And they're saying even like the colors of your walls, does this serve me or not in my new 5D existence, in my new transformational, higher being? Do I need this or not? Does it bring me joy or not? Does it bring me, do I feel love from this object or not? Pizza, remember, if I go a new place, you're not comfortable. I'm seeing you write a letter to your husband who's passed.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure anything that's been left unsaid, which I don't think there's much, but anything that you need to get off your chest, you do that tonight if you can.
Okay.
And then burn it. Because they're saying there's still some stuff in there that if it's not addressed before the past life regression might be a little challenging for you. So being aware of it, writing with pen and paper, it's such a magical technique because we don't even know what's buried. When we think about stuff, we're like, oh, everything's fine. And then you start writing, you're like, and that's son of a blah, blah, blah. You never know what comes out until you start the actual act of writing. And so there might be something that comes out that you might be like, huh, where'd that come from? So they want you to do some self-discovery around that tonight, if you can. And you're already aware of this, so they're just confirming for you that there's going to be people and environments that no longer serve you once you come out of this transition. So starting Monday, old jobs, old people, relationships, it's going to be very apparent and very clear what's 5D, what's not, and they want you to stay in the 5D. 5D, for those of you watching, it's part of the ascension. We're all going through a spiritual evolution of sorts. We're moving from what's called the third dimension or 3D to 5D. And in 5D, it's a lot more of a spiritual awareness and a spiritual alignment than the 3D, which is very human kind of based living. And so, Joy, just be mindful of needing to say goodbye to some things. And it's not going to be fun, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a career of 50 years, so that's something that's on the table.
Yeah. That feels like something that might need to say, because you've retired like 3 times, right? And they keep bringing you back. This might be the final one. This might be it.
Yeah. I think your angel card reading for the year indicated that. So I was thinking September, and that's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. That feels right. I mean, I don't want to tell you, what to do, what not to do. Of course, listen to your own intuition, but it feels like that one of the biggest things they want you to let go is the career, is the job.
Make my commitment to be on the other path. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Because there's a lot more they want you to do in the 5D in sharing your gifts, being a teacher, being a healer, I'm excited. Hang on. I don't want to get this wrong. Your path includes a spiritual teacher and a spiritual coach. Mm-hmm. They want you to kind of dedicate your whole life to being this of service to others through your spiritual coaching and spiritual mentorship. So let me get some clarity on that, because that's kind of a vague topic. Let me get some. You're going to be helping people on their spiritual path and journey, helping them to remember who they are. How beautiful is that, Joy?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's just, that makes me so happy.
Good. And they're saying it's beyond healing. Healing's a part of that, but it's so much bigger than healing. The way we think about healing, it's more about it's like holding a mirror to themselves, their divine self. Like folks might come in to you as a client and be downtrodden and miserable and stuck in 3D, and you just simply hold a mirror to their divine shiny self. Like, remember this is who you are. Mm-hmm. Let's work on getting you here. Beautiful. Yeah. With all the tools that you've been learning, right? The dream analysis, the Reiki, the past life regression. Are you doing hypnotherapy too?
No, not yet. There's trans channel out there, but I'm not sure when it's going to come in.
I can feel and sense some past life regression stuff. So if you have it in your heart to learn hypnotherapy, that feels right to me as another modality. But they're saying you've got all the tools, you don't really need anything else. But if you want to learn it because it's fun, go for it. Mm-hmm. But you don't need it. They're like, you're fully vested in your education. You're fully like all the tools you've got. Have you studied numerology too?
Yes.
Because they're showing me a lot of numbers, and I'm trying to, okay. Mm-hmm. What about numerology, guides, and angels? You understand it in a way and can explain it in a way that is accessible to people that are afraid of numbers. But also you've got a way of looking at numbers and not analyzing, but using your intuition to read through the meaning of the numbers. So just like in tarot, when we do a tarot reading, people memorize the major and the minor arcanas, what all the meanings are. That's one layer to it. But then there's a whole deeper layer of your intuitive self. Like, what does it really mean? What does a 4 really mean? What does a 5 really mean? Birth chart numbers and stuff like that. So your intuition is really strong when you use numerology. So that might be like your entry point into working with clients is working like with their birth date first, and then kind of feeling into them, but then using that as your window and your door in to their how to best help them. So lean into that a little bit more, they're saying.
Okay.
And they're so excited. I feel like your angels are like jumping up and down, like, yay, she's on the path, she's on the path, she's doing it, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. They're so excited. Oh, and they're saying the channeling will come when the need arises.
Yeah.
Be open to it being spontaneous and showing up in places and times when you hadn't planned for it. You'll just know. Any questions for me on any of that?
No, that's great. I just love the encouragement.
Yeah, they're so excited.
And the cutting the ties is a very traumatic experience. Friend of mine just went through it. I think she went through 16, 17 weeks of it because she had so much to clear.
Yeah.
They say it's 10 to 12 weeks, but to me, I'm looking at it thinking where I'll be when I'm done, the blessings I'm going to receive so that I can use all these gifts that I was blessed to have coming in to be able to share it with others and use it for others.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm hearing, as you're talking, I'm hearing your guide saying, ask for grace.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for grace during this transition. It doesn't need to be a challenge. It doesn't need to be difficult. That's a choice, they're saying. Right. So ask for grace to come in, ask for your angels to help support and to make it a smooth transition. And know that nothing happens to you that your higher self doesn't deem you're ready for. And so no matter what the outcome, you're on your spiritual path. That's exactly what you need to be doing in that moment. They're making me feel like it's not going to be hugely traumatic, like some of your fellow students have gone through.
That's how I felt so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're saying you've done a lot of work and a lot of clearing already. You don't got a lot of baggage.
I know.
Good on you.
Well, it took me 20 plus years to get there, but yeah.
That's great. And it's a beautiful, so they're also saying don't be discouraged, like nothing happened if there's nothing traumatic that you like, you're not sick in bed for days or something like that. Like you've done the work. So and your path is different from everybody else's path. You're at a different stage. And so don't accept the outcome without judgment, but ask for grace during the process. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I asked for them to be gentle, so I had grace to it too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm so excited for you. It's always so good to see you.
Good to see you too. I have a girlfriend that is doing QHHT, past life regression.
Oh, great.
And we're thinking of possibly joining forces and setting up a business in San Jose. So I told her about you and I said, let's go visit Francie and see how she set up her business in San Jose, and we'll pick her brain on it. So we might come and visit you and have lunch and pick your brain.
I would love that. I would love that. I do teach a course too, if it was helpful. I teach, what's the name of the course? It's it's basically how to open and maintain your spiritual business for spiritual practitioners. Since I've been doing this for many years and I've had a bunch of different kinds of businesses and different experiences, I kind of pull all that stuff together. So if that's something you're interested in, I can put that back on the calendar as well. But you're always welcome to come visit me in the Central Coast anytime.
Well, yeah, it's a great time to come visit. You're in a beautiful place. So
right. Yeah. Who needs an excuse to come down to the beach?
Commercial. That was so great. I mean, so proud of you. You have grown and shined so beautifully. So congrats to you. Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. Always a blessing to see you.
Enjoy your day, and I'll continue to watch your TV shows from now on.
Thank you. Sending you lots of love. Thanks,
lots of love to you too, sweetie. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So thank you all for joining. I think that's going to be the end of the first episode of Becoming Whole with Francie. I always want to leave everybody with a sense of peace and a sense of healing. So everyone who's watching, if you want to take a nice deep breath, the light within you meets the light with the divine. The divine light meets your light. We call on your own angels and guides for healing, clarity, peace, and love. I'm sending you my love and blessings. And thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to see you again in a few weeks. Take care.
Are you ready to experience real healing, body, mind, and soul? Introducing Becoming Whole, Healing with Francie Soito, a powerful new live show on SoulSearch TV. Francie is a Reiki master, psychic medium, and angelic channel with over 15 years of experience helping people and pets heal, receive messages from the spirit world, and reconnect with their true path. Every other Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, join Francie live as she taps into your energy field, connects with your angels and guides, and offers messages of healing, love, and deep transformation. Watch for free on SoulSearch TV, available online on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our mobile app. Want to receive a live reading or healing? Spots are limited. Grab your ticket now and receive a private Zoom link to join the session. Launching June 26th. Let the healing begin.